Coach, what can you take away from the draw today?
Uh, Another clean sheet. That's our fourth in 7 league matches. That's fantastic. That shows structure and discipline and, a lot of good fundamental things. We need to start creating way more chances. On the other end of the field, we haven't been anywhere near as sharp as we were last year when we got hot. Um, Clean sheets are fantastic, but when you have 3-0 draws in your first 7 games, that's a glaring hole. We've been shut out now 4 times. We need to be way sharper in the final third. I just didn't think the intent was there in our running in the box. I think we're too complacent to just try to get on the end of crosses behind people instead of forcing the issue and getting across the front post. So little things that are very controllable that we can clean up. But again, structurally, fundamentally, great to get back to a clean sheet.
You talked this week about wanting to see more of a pop, see more energy from the team. Do you feel like you saw that in this game?
Yeah, absolutely. I just said to the team, I thought TJ was phenomenal tonight. I thought he played about as well as you could possibly play, being wrong-footed and, playing out of position on top of being wrong-footed on that side of the field. I thought he was just excellent in all facets of the game. I thought Addy brought fantastic energy to the group tonight. Had he not taken the yellow card, he probably would have finished the game. But his pressing was very disruptive for them. And those guys are just as important to putting up clean sheets up top with their energy and their intent to go and touch the ball. So I thought those two guys really stood out in my mind tonight. And ultimately we just need playmakers to make plays now. It was great to get Carriaga back on the field, and you see just technically we're elevated when he comes on the field. So we just got to get him more minutes and hopefully get him fully back up and running soon.
You saw him for about 10, 12 minutes today. What was it you saw from him that made you feel positive about him being back in the lineup?
Just he's so calm on the ball. He calms us all down. You see Seb looking for him in tight windows where we aren't necessarily looking for other guys. And it changes the shape of the game. Ultimately, he has that entry pass ability, that final pass ability that we've been lacking. So I think with more minutes for Samu will come more goals. I think it's that simple.
Now you got a week and you've got Rhode Island coming here for Oklahoma. Second time you play them this season. Looking at that game, what do you anticipate? It's a USL Cup game, I think. Right?
Yeah, I already said to the group, I think that game will decide the group. So it's kind of everything on the line right up front.
You talk about everything being on the line. You've already talked about, we've had some clean sheets, but also maybe needed to get a little sharper in attack. Is this game maybe coming at a bad time for you?
It is, yeah. I mean, when you're missing 5 starters, who, in my opinion, at least 3 or 4 of those guys are all league capable or type of players, you know, it leaves you not in your strongest position. I'd be lying if I said different. So I think we've done a fantastic job to pick up points along the way, and we're nowhere near full strength. And when we are, we're going to be a very, very good team and very hard to beat.
With some of those guys coming back, Samuel Carriaga, maybe Barry Coffey, what are you looking for over the next couple of games to show you that is happening, that best case scenario is coming true?
Goals change games. I mean, teams, their mentality changes when you score goals. You know, a positive for us, if we go and find those goals, the confidence grows, and then the ability to play the final pass and the willingness to run across the front and not settle for a weaker position arriving on the end of crosses, things like that. You just get more aggressive because you're confident. And it puts a dent in other teams when you score goals, and they drop their heads. And when we played Rhode Island last time, they had nothing in the game despite the lineup controversy or whatever people wanted to talk about. They scored off a set piece, and it completely changed the complexion of the game and the way they were able to approach the rest of it. So that's we're waiting for those breakthroughs right now.
What would you say is your message to fans? are hoping for miracle?
Yeah. Our fans are phenomenal, and they've been here through thick and thin, and and it was very thin for a very long time. But the reality is we've rewarded them with a trophy last year, and the expectations that we have for ourselves collectively as a group on the technical side is we win another one this year somehow. So no, our fans are fantastic, and they, like I said, they've stuck it out through some hard times, and they deserve to enjoy these games when they come out here. And as the weather gets better, and we hold ourselves to a very high standard, and our expectations are better than our results right now.